So, okay. Yeah, good day once again, class. And this is our fourth week. Yeah, so basically, welcome to the class, and this will be our agenda for today. Again, we're going to do a recap from the last class that we did. Then we're going to talk about the pipeline that we have right now. Then we're going to do some artifact management, learn about artifact management, then do some introduction to JFrog Artifactory. Then we're going to integrate it with our pipeline. That will be the lab part. Then we're going to go to the lab. Then from the last class, if you remember, we talked about SonarQube, and again, SonarQube is used to scan a code, a source code. And then, like I said last week, these are code with thousands of lines. They want to make sure that developer, even before they build the code, they want to make sure that there's no error in the code follow the necessary syntax, there's no bug, no, all those bad stuff in the code that can really cause a big problem. So you want to do that early during the pipeline, to scan it, and whenever, if there's something, maybe there are bugs there, you can set a rule that, okay, if the bug is more than certain percentage, I want the build to fail. I don't want the build to proceed to be successful. So you can do all those things on the pipeline. And again, these are very powerful things that allow continuous integration, continuous deployment, CI/CD to be very powerful and very useful in the industry, because this thing we do it real life, and at a very good speed. Alternative to that, people, maybe you have to do it manually and try to see, okay, where there's error in the code. I mean, we're talking of thousands of lines of code that developers are writing. So those are not practical way to do it. And then, these things are very, very useful to make sure that they are putting the right code into the repository. And you remember from the lab we did, we were able to, we spin up a server, then we install our SonarQube there, then we integrated it with the Jenkins, we updated our script and then do other stuff. So again, these are very, very important things to really understand and talked about. This will be on your resume and stuff, and you have to make sure you really know what they do. So then the quality gates that we talked about, which basically, you can like set a threshold, like a requirement that, okay, if certain percentage of the code has a bug, let it fail. Jenkins will fail the job. You can say that, okay, I can allow, maybe error of like maybe 1%, but anything more than that, I don't want the build to, I don't want the pipeline to be successful, so I want it to fail. So you can do all those things in the quality gate in SonarQube. And I think we made some demo last week that we changed the quality gate from 1 to 2, and then, you see how it worked. Yeah, those are very important concepts. And this is how our pipeline look like. If you remember from last class, we have the Git checkout, then we build the application, we test it. Again, if you are working in a real life environment, the build stage alone can take 10 minutes, because there are so many things it will be downloading. This one just 6 seconds. It's because we are not using a real code like that. We're just using a very basic code to test this out. In the real life, this stage alone can take like 10, 15 minutes and still be running. So, but again, the main thing is to understand this concept. And this was our SonarQube that we integrated and before we deployed to Tomcat server. So then this will be our topic for today, the artifact management. Basically, it's a repository which can also be called artifact management, or they can call it artifact repository. It's an application designed to store, version, and deploy artifact for build. I remember, I think one of the class we talked about the artifacts, what artifacts are. Those are the end products of what we build. After we build and package the application, you remember we saw the WAR file. It could be .war file, .jar file. It could be .exe, maybe on the Windows. It could be any of those stuff. Those are artifacts. So, and those are, if you remember, we deployed the artifact directly to Tomcat. That's where we could access our web application. Those are artifacts that you do. But what happens is that in the real life, you don't just want to deploy it directly like that. You want to store it somewhere where you want to store it in a place where other people can access it as well. Because these people, again, they are working on, in most environments, they are working on like 20 different projects. Like, because those applications, they don't just, in most companies, they don't just, it will not just be one code that we have all the applications you are saying. They are like they will split them into different functions. For example, maybe on Uber now, some team can be working on payments, just payment application, they call it payments. Some team can be working on maybe map, the GPS map on Uber, where some team can be working on login, or maybe just authentication or whatever. That's how it used to be in real life. They'll split it. It can be like up to like 10 different teams, working separately on all this code. So each of them, they will have the artifacts. Each of those teams, they will have a pipeline, the way to deal the code. Again, it will not be one thing put together. And that's where the concept of like microservices comes into play. I'm sure some of you would have heard of microservices, like maybe Amazon now, the Amazon application, there'll be like a search. Something can be working on search features alone that you are saying. Something can be working on order, just order to place order and stuff like that. The team can be working on carts, to design the carts, and because again, these are large scale. To you would think that search, what is there? Like this can be, search alone can be taking like maybe hundreds of lines of code on a website like Amazon, just for people to be able to search an item. So that's the way they used to design those teams. They used to operate in real life. So, and each team, they will build those applications, they will write the code, the developer, of course, not you as a DevOps guy, but as a DevOps guy, they will need you to like help them to do the deployment, to make sure that their code gets out as quickly as possible. So what happens is that they will have like a repository, like all this Artifactory, that we store. So whenever each team, like for example, maybe order, maybe in Amazon now, the team that manage like orders, so there'll be like maybe 10 developers working in that team, maybe 2 DevOps guys doing there. So you can build like a pipeline for them, CI/CD pipeline, and they will do deployment. They will to deploy it. So they will deploy it into the Artifactory. What they will, after they build the application, they get an artifact, which could be .war file. So the artifact is what they can use to, like, they can promote it, use it to integrate it with other team working on other team before, to make up the whole application. So from the artifact, they can do the testing there. They can test the artifact and it will function like a real application. They can do a lot of things there. So, and again, versioning as well. Whenever they build an application, they will give it a version name. Like, okay, this is version 1 point something. So that will be in an artifact like that. Then once they make any changes in the application or in the code, they'll give it another name again. They give it another number, maybe this time 1.2.3, stuff like that. So tools like Artifactory makes all those things easier, and everybody will be able to access all those artifacts. They store it there. It's just similar for some of you that have some idea on Docker. It's similar to like Docker Hub. With Docker, you build the image, then you push it to Docker Hub. Then from Docker Hub, anybody can retrieve it. Anybody can pull it with Docker pull, run it as a container, and stuff like that. Again, Docker is by the way for now. So we'll still get there, hopefully. So, but again, artifacts, just giving you perspective, it's like that, allow you to manage all those things. And they call them binary file sometimes, or maybe artifacts. So sometimes you say like binary or artifacts, they are saying almost the same thing. So these are some of the main feature. Version support, you can give a version to your artifact, like the one we have. I showed you that there. I will show you again on the Jenkins how artifact looks like. So you can give it a version and stuff like that. So all those applications like JFrog, allow you to do that easily. Retention, you can have access, it will be stored there instead of you to just deploy it directly to Tomcat. If you deploy it directly to Tomcat, I'm not sure Tomcat will store it. If you deploy another one, and stuff like that. So once you have like a Artifactory like that, even before you deploy to like Tomcat, you can store it there. So in the future, maybe you want to make reference to that artifact, or you want to do something with it, or maybe another team want to use it, want to use it for something else, they can just pull it to the address, and just like you are downloading stuff. So just download it from that Artifactory, and that's it. So user permission, you can specify who can have access to the Artifactory. Promotion as well. You can promote it. Promotion is like because whenever it's in that Artifactory, what they do is that they run tests against it. They do a lot of things. Then if everything looks good, they can promote it sometimes, or do whatever they want to do with it. That's promotion. Then license, high availability, it's always very available. So some of the popular tools that are popular in Artifactory, these are, again, even personally, I'm only familiar with about 2 or 3 of them, JFrog Artifactory and Sonatype Nessus. These two are very popular with Artifactory, which I've seen in the industry. My company, they use Nessus, the company I work with, and I've worked with companies that use JFrog Artifactory. So these are very, very popular. Of course, Docker, it's kind of a different stuff. It's more like image based. So Docker Hub is, of course, is very popular for image. So, but JFrog and these are very popular, which I'm very aware of. But these are some of the two. And again, like I always say, you don't need to worry about, just know one and move on. No one of them know what they do, easily. Once you know one, anybody will know that, we believe that you can work with anyone. You just need like basic training or whatever to be able to work with any of this. So again, you don't have to worry about all this. Just know one of them, know it very well, how they work, how to integrate them with the pipeline, with the CI/CD, and they do some other stuff. So then we'll be going with JFrog Artifactory in this class. They are pretty much very, very popular, both of them. These two, Nessus and JFrog, and very similar in the way they work. So JFrog is a universal DevOps solution which provides automation and management of binary and artifacts. Again, they can call it binary sometimes, or artifacts, which through the application delivery process that improves productivity across your development ecosystem. So, and you see this, it says Artifactory is an industry-leading product and provides support for 25 package formats. package format are like the WAR file, the jar file we talked about. It could be like NPN, like all this NPN, those are package formats, and different formats depending on the application type, the language they're using. Maybe it's Java, maybe it's Node.js. Node.js would be like NPN for the formats, and many others. So some benefits of Artifactory: offline access to your binary, long and network intense build process, security and access control, sharing internal and external artifacts. This is very, very critical. You can share all the artifacts, both to other team. Like I said, you are working, it's always a teamwork with a lot of, different team working in like a different features in the app. So, once you have all these things, each team will have artifacts and they can share it among each other, do some cool stuff with it, maybe integrate it with their own, and, try to see how they work together. And the people that doing testing as well, they can pull all these artifacts again, do, the software tester themselves, not some basic testing. They can pull it from the Artifactory, run some tests against it, and, approve it that, okay, it's good to go before they maybe deploy it into another environment like production or whatever. So binary version tracking, like I mentioned, the version, again, it support version. You can, just like Docker Hub, if some of you are familiar with Docker, you can give it a version, okay, 0.1, 0.1, 0.4, point whatever, so you can give it a cool version, and it allows you to track all the build process, because they are building and making changes frequently. So you want the artifact to be unique, so that, in the future, maybe you want to make reference to specific version, you can get the artifacts and just know that, okay, this is the version I'm looking for. So it's very cool. You can search artifacts based on, you can put a tag on it, and search for artifacts, and see, maybe you are looking for any specific criteria, you can do that. So it's very cool. You can do some customization and a lot of things. Again, you don't really need to know too much on all these things. Just, especially from DevOps perspective, just understand how they work and how they integrate, especially with pipeline and some of all those things. So, but from theory part, yeah, this is what we'll be covering today. Yeah, so can you guys see my screen? Yeah, I log in as a root user on my, I'm sure you guys can see my screen, right? Let's say yeah, if you can see it. Okay.
Yeah, we can see your screen.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, we can.
Okay, thank you, Sos. Yeah, so yeah, these are some of my stuff that let me terminate this. I have so much server running. So yeah, this is my AWS account again, guys. And I will just grab the IP address of the Jenkins again, which is this guy right here. Yeah, I will stop. So I'll just grab the IP address of my Jenkins. It's going to be on port 800. Yeah, so I'll just log into my Jenkins. So remember, this was our pipeline from last week, and this was what we currently have, which we integrated with SonarQube. So yeah, this is where we are. Let me show you what, I don't know why I can't see artifacts from this. Okay, if I go to workstation now, so this is what artifacts look like. I think I show you guys. So this is what it looks like. This is the artifacts we're talking about. So you see, this is it, and these are what you want to store. So once you store it in like JFrog Artifactory, you can give it in, you can like give it like a version. This could be my web app dash this thing v1.01, then .wa. So you can do that. Then whenever you make any change again, and your pipeline runs, then it will generate another one with a different version number. So you can do that, and then from our pipeline we can put it somewhere like here, like okay, it can be like in between this place. Maybe before we deploy to Tomcat, we can put the artifact stage right here to like, okay, deploy to the Artifactory, and so in the lab today, we're just going to install the artifact and integrate it with our Jenkins pipeline, and then we see how it works. So let's do that. Let me see how many servers are running. I think I stopped this Cloud9. Hey, good.
Are we going to install it on one of our EC2 servers, or?
Yeah, I believe we should be able to do that. Let me try. Let's try and install it on this Tomcat. Hopefully it will work. So instead of spinning up another server, let's install it on this Tomcat.
But we can't install it on the Jenkins, the one we put Jenkins on, I mean.
Yeah, we can definitely. But again, in ideal environment, it will be in
all on a separate.
it will be a separate server. Yeah, obviously it will be in the separate server. Matter of fact, I will run it on, because I think the minimum requirement is also 2 gig, which is too small. So I think I will run it on this on the SonarQube, the one I used the other time. I think I will install it with that. Hopefully it will. So yeah, because it's something that you store a lot of things there. But again, in the ideal environment, this will be running a separate. Each of them will be running a separate server. You just have to find a way where they will talk to Jenkins. Where Jenkins can talk to them. Okay, Jenkins can talk to Tomcat. Jenkins can talk to SonarQube and the JFrog Artifactory. So I think this is running now. So I'm just going to SSH into it. I'll go to my SSH client. And then I will, I will just paste this there to just SSH there. And again, we need for this to work, if you are doing it, or you are doing it in a separate server, for it to work, we need to open ports 8081 and 8082. So if you go to our security group, again, you can see security group here. You don't have to under networking. You can, but now we already attach security group to this server. That's why I'm trying to do it for me, so that we know the one to modify. If I go to security right here, this is my security group. So, and this, you see, these are my inbound role. I only have 9,022 here. So, but I need to open another port. So I'll just right click on this, open in a new tab, because I don't want to. So then I will edit inbound role right here. Then I will add role. Of course, is a custom TCP. Then I will put 8081. And then I can open it to the wall. Another thing you can do here is, okay, maybe you don't want to, because right now, if you have the IP address of my distance, you can access it even from your computer, because I open the port to everyone. If you have my public IP address, you can access my server, even my Jenkins. If you grab this, my IP address, and put it on port 8080, you can access it. So it's not really a best practice to do that. So another thing you can do here to like avoid that is you can just go to Google and say that, okay, what is my IP my IP address. You can say, what is my IP address? So, this is your public IP address. You can do this, just copy the address, and then, right here, you can just put it there, then put /32. /32 means that it's only this IP. If some of you have done like understand some how CIDR, they call the CIDR range, so /32 just means that it's only this IP address it will accept. Just it's only nothing else. If I put like /28 here, it may accept maybe .8, or someone using .8 or .9, or maybe or .10, it can still accept it. But if you put like /32, it's like you are saying you are locking that IP address there, that okay, this is the IP, nothing else. So if I put for example, if I put I don't know if IP address just a bit confusing. That's why I don't really want to go for. If I put /24 here, for example, anyone with IP address of ending with even 12 will be able to access it, because this 24 is just telling me that only match it with these three, only match it with this, then this one could be anything. So anybody with IP address of this, even /100, will be able to access my server. Even maybe 50 will be able to access it, because this /32 just means that match it with the first three, which is this first three dot you are saying, which is 173.70.188. So then dot anything. So that's /24. But if I put /32 now, it's locking it on this particular one, which is, I think is .7. And if I do this, I will be the only one that can access this this server on port 8081. Again, this is just some AWS and some basic networking stuff, but good to know. Again, you guys can read more on networking. It's again, it could be a little bit confusing for a starter, but it's very cool and very important too. Yeah, my first project that I worked with, before we could SSH into the server, this is what they do. They give us they say we should give provide our public IP address, and on the job, that's what they do, and they open the port for only for you. So here we have a lot of people, then here they put Kenneth, they put my name, Kenneth, there. So, maybe another team member with a name Kuma, they will put his own IP address there too. Then they put his name, Kuma, or whatever. So it's very important to know some of all these concepts when you are studying for your AWS solution architect. I mean, some interviewer can ask you that. I've seen few of that. They like networking very well, because it's very, very important. So, but just know that /32 just means that only me can access this, because that's my public IP address. If you see it here, that's just by the way. So again, I open port 8081, 8082. So I can save it now, and let me just save it. So now I have now if I refresh this guy, I have my ports. Need to refresh the whole console. So I have my port 80 and 81. So, and again, we already SSH into the server. You can do that with your SSH again to, just put your IP address alone there, although there's no one will be able to do that. And this is my SonarQube server. Yeah, that's why you can see this, if you remember from the last class. So I'm just going to do the installation is very basic, very basic. So first, let me update the repo, sudo apt update. Yeah. Oh,
app double PM.
Yeah, no, yeah, apt.
App. No.
Yeah, apt. Yeah. And then again, I think I have this thing, but for I don't know if anyone is following the class. Yeah, it's done. Because this is not a fresh. Oh shit. This is not a fresh server. So if you remember, I think I already have Java installed on this machine.
Yeah.
So I can just do Control-C here to exit. So if I do Java, I think version. So I should say that Java is installed. So I don't need to run that step. But if you are using a fresh server, you have to do that. So the next one is to add this this repository, whatever. Let me see. So this is way very straightforward compared to SonarQube that we did. We're just going to get OK. And then the next one will be this. And then the next, I think the last one, okay, we have to update the repo again. I was even thinking to use Red Hat for this lab. I mean, it's I don't know if we're still going to install anything, but I want to use that so that some of us will be familiar with that too. Again, the difference are very, very little. Just instead of apt here, you use yum for that to do all this installation, and some little difference. Basically, Linux command, the ls, everything will still work perfectly. And then we can start our server. Okay, I think we have it. Then the next one is to start the application. So basically, they use this to start application in most Linux environment. So you see sudo systemctl start. I don't know why it's taking forever to start. Or maybe we're out of memory, I don't know. I think I'll cancel this. I will cancel it. Okay, hopefully start, I don't know. It's just ending like this. Oh man. I think this server is overwhelmed. No, this may not work. I think I will have to use another server. This doesn't look good. Let me just quit it. So Hey guys, I think the server is I don't know. I will log in back again to the server. I think that was this. And then I'll click on connect and I'll just grab the yeah, I think the server is overwhelmed. It's I may have to spin up another one. No, this doesn't look good. Okay. I'll spin up another one. I mean, you can just terminate it immediately if you are done there. I don't think we can. Then I'm going to, with this, which is 2 gig memory, and I'm just going to leave everything as default. And then I'm just going to add a tag with a name. And I'll say JFrog. And then I think I already opened some ports. Let me see. No, not this. Not this. Okay. Let me just create another port so that, you know, and they had the rule 8081, then 8082, 8082. Okay. Just telling me that, okay. You see, still, this is still loading. Yeah, so sorry guys for that. I should have just spin up another one from so let me SSH now. Let me make my terminal a little bit bigger. My keys and download. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. We could have finished this since. Let's install the Java.
I don't think we can see your terminal.
You can't see my terminal?
No.
Wow, you should have told me. Oh my God. Sure. Are you serious? Wow. Okay. Sorry about that then. Wow, I didn't know. But you saw it the other time, right?
Yeah, we saw it before when you were before the first system crashed.
Yeah, okay. Sorry about that then. Let me stop sharing and share again. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm not doing much actually. Just Okay, can you guys see it now?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, I was just running the command, nothing. Same command I ran the other time. Then I think I will. Yeah, that one has, I don't know, it has, I can't do that. Nope. Mm. Hmm. That's the problem with all this thing. Yeah, put this there. I think I missed one command. Okay, I think I missed one command. I'm not very sensitive. Yeah. I think I ran this. Okay, I think we're good now. Follow this way. Hold on now. I should have just spin up a new server.
So does the JFrog, does it requires a T small as well?
Yes.
It's small.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's why I was trying to use the other T small that we use from Sonakil. But yeah, you can just destroy it if you are done with the lab, and they won't charge you. Yeah. I hope this doesn't crash again. System CTS starts. I did this thing, it worked. I don't know what's going on. Come on. I have to cancel this again. I don't know, and this is still too small. What is going on with the servers? Is this, no. Did I SSH into this? So, no. Because I don't know. 18.20. I think I SSH into another server. Shit. Oh man. I don't know what's going on. The problem with all this thing. Just do some things and then it says it. Thank you. Let me exit this also. Wow, I've never experienced this before. This is so weird. That's cool. I don't know.
It's part of learning,
Yeah, and I think I SSH into another server. This one is saying 34.2227. And this is the server I'm supposed to SSH into. So basically, I think I SSH into, I think this is
Use who am I command and see if maybe it's gonna show the name.
Yeah, I'm not, I log out from the server already.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, I think I log into the wrong this thing, because looking at the command I ran, it's sure. Yeah, this was the command I ran, and basically this is an IP address of 34.277. But oh man. Not a good day in the office. Yeah, you see, it's different from this now. And this was the server I just provisioned. So, but I ran the other one, which was another server. Yeah. Oh man, sorry guys.
So is this a new server now or?
Yeah, there's a new server now.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a new server now. Yeah, this will work 100%, guys. I'm very sure. Worry about all those back and forth. That's not just, yeah. I don't know how I log into another server. So you guys say we should do Python, right?
Yeah, it's like basics now. If we can touch it, it will help.
Yeah, if you can do it, that would be good.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, especially the parts you just need to know those. Yeah, just know some basic and the application as well with DevOps, how they use it is very important. Yeah. You see, they'll be asking like, okay, tell me what you've done with Python. And Docker too. We should do Docker. If we
I thought we were going to touch Docker before now, have we?
Yeah, we did Docker. If we're doing Docker, I'm just think it would be good to integrate it with the pipeline because it's a very common way to use Docker. Yeah. If it fail again this time, I don't know what I'll do. I'll just throw the laptop away or something. It looks like this application is it that powerful? I don't know, this thing is still. Grab the IP address and see if it's running. I think we access it from 0.0.81, I think. Yeah, I think it's up. I don't just know why the command is now. Okay, started already. Then enable. Honestly, I don't know but I think the application started. If you check our terminal, this is JFrog running. And then it's running on port 8081. Let me get my charger from my laptop. Okay, sorry, I'm trying to turn my. Yeah, so the default password, the default username is admin. Then the default password is password. So password, default username is admin, default password is password. So let's get started. Then it will prompt you to like change the password. So I'll just say password. 1, 2. Then here I will say password 1, 2. I mean, just basic changing of password that you know. So nothing special here. So I will click on this base URL. I think you can skip it. And then this, you can basically skip it unless you have any proxy. It's just, but basically this is how the UI looks like. And you see it changed to port 8082 now. And that's why we opened the 2 ports. So to first log in, you access it from 8081, then the UI itself is from 8082. Automatically that will change bits. Just make sure you open the 2 ports on your EC2. So basically this is how it looks like. And from here, this is where you see like all the stuff, like all the artifacts that is stored. You see a lot of them, a lot, they will name it. It would look like something, it would look like stuff like this, they give it a name, they can, someone can download it or whatever. So all the artifacts will be here. So right now we're going to integrate it with our Jenkins. Then we want to deploy the artifact directly here. So we want the artifact to come to this place, then we should be able to access it right here. So this is how the dashboard looked like. And this is Artifactory, JFrog. So first thing to integrate it, let's go to our Jenkins. And if you remember, to do integration with Jenkins, it's all about plugins. You have to install the plugin. So I'll go to manage Jenkins right here, then I'll go to manage plugin, then I will search for, go to available, then I'll search for Artifactory. You search for Artifactory. I can't see it right here because I already installed it on my machine. So I should have removed it before the class or something. But if I go to install, just to show you, this is the, if I go to install, why is it not search? Artifactory. Yeah, this is the Artifactory plugin, this is the one I have that, in your case, you see it under available, then you just click on it like this. If you remember, we used to install plugin and then install without restart. So that's what you just have to do here. So, just search for it, Artifactory, click on it, then install without restart. Then it will install the, now I already have it installed. That's why it's there. And this is it right here, Artifactory plugin. So I'll go back to manage Jenkins. I want to set it up now. So then I'll go to configure system. So under configure system, I already set it up, but what I will do now is, if I scroll down, you remember this where we set up our SonarQube server last week as well. Under the configure this thing, that will put the URL at port 9000, all the stuff. So if I come down, you see the JFrog parts. Let me delete this. Matter of fact, let me delete it so that I can do it all over again. So if you come down, you will see the JFrog right here, from the which is because you installed the plugin. That's why you see this option there. If you don't have the plugin, you're not going to see this option there. So what you want to do is you want to add JFrog platform instance. Then here you can give it any name you want, any name. Just know the name you are giving it. So I'll just give it JFrog. You can give it any name. Then here you provide the URL. You remember we always provide URL for this thing. So so that you will know our URL is IP address. If you can remember, it's always IP address for now, unless you have money to buy. Unless you have money to buy a domain name. So, it's IP address with the port number. I think you have to put like Artifactory at the end. So this is where our Artifactory is saved. So what you want to do is, provide username and password for the deployed default deployer. So the username was admin, if you remember. The password, you remember I changed it to password. So that's what I'm typing now, password 12. So that's what I'm testing. I'm typing right here. So here I will test the connection if we're good. I provided it. So I tested the connection. It says that they found the Artifactory. Yeah, I don't really like the fact that it says they found the this is okay. Let's give it a name. I don't like the fact it's giving me this. Let me see. Okay, yeah, I don't think you have to put the the other Artifactory there. So right now, once I click test connection, it tells us that it found the Artifactory. This is the version that we installed, and this is the endpoint, this is the URL. So I think our connection is good now. Jenkins should be able to talk to JFrog Artifactory at this point. Let me see this pipeline. So I think here too we should do this. So the main thing, we have to remember this name, which is JFrog at the name that we use here. I think we need to provide it here too. So we need to remember this name. right here. So yeah, I think that should be it. Then let's save right here. Then again, this was the pipeline that we're working with. If you remember from the last class. So there's the pipeline, and if I go to configure now, you see we don't really have anything because we are building from the script is in GitHub. It's inside this repository. So so if I go to my GitHub, this is the Jenkins file. So we're just going to add the stage for the Artifactory to trigger and deploy our code there. So I think I can just add it somewhere in between this place. Then I will redeploy this thing. So I will go to my visual code, and I already have the snippet from which I got online on how to integrate, how to add the artifact. So now I need the IP address, which is different from what I used before. So I'm going to go to my visual code. So I will just change this because it's different from what I have now. So this is the stage I have. Again, this is if you have the other one, it will be different, but these are the stages I had, these two. The format is not that cool. I can reformat it, but this is the stages. This is the two stages I had. The first one, basically, to just establish a connection to the Artifactory. Then the second one, we are telling it to deploy to the Artifactory. So let me just get the formatting right to align all the stage together. Then I want to indent this one step. Then of course this is inside this place. Yeah, this should even be, yeah. So yeah, basically, these stages, again, I have to like look up how to, do this integration, the snippet of the code. Then this is the name of the credential that we use. It's very, very important. This JFrog at the name that we give it. Then the server ID, this ID, you can give it any name. Then when you come to the next stage here, you have to make reference to the name. It has to be the same. So I'm going to save this right now. This from my computer directly. So I'm going to save it. Then I will push it to the Git repo. So let me just do Control S right here. Command S. Let me just save it. So I save it now, and this is the file that I just saved. Let me show you. It's on my computer. I think you can see my distance. So, but yeah. So I will clone the repo now. Then I'll make the changes. Then I'll push it back. So just to show how Git work once again for some of us. So if I go to the code, this is my repo URL. Then I can do Git clone from here. So, matter of fact, I can, they have to be on the, okay, you can be on any terminal, it doesn't matter, you don't have to log into Ubuntu to do this, matter of fact, I don't even want to log in. Let me just exit this. So I'm right on my download folder now. And I think from here, my stuff is under desktop training. Okay, so let me CD there. CD desktop. So desktop, sorry, CD desktop, then I think training, yeah, I think that's where I am. Then I think this is the Jenkins file, the one I just modify now. So I can do git clone here. Actually git clone, and then no. I copy something. I do git clone to clone my repo. Again, I can run this command even from the VS Code terminal. So So I do git clone already. Then where's my repo? Where's my okay? The Java project is there. So okay, let me ls Java project. Okay, so I have the Jenkins file there, but the Jenkins file I have here is different. So let me try and move the Jenkins file right here inside this. So hopefully it should overwrite it. Or let me just copy. Let me see, copy. I don't know if it will overwrite it. Let me see. Okay. Yeah, let me copy. Yeah, I should overwrite it. Okay, copy Jenkins file from here. Then I want to copy it to Java.
You use CD, not copy.
Sorry, CPU. Thank you. Yeah, just like what is going on. Okay, let me CD into my repo now. And let me do a list. Okay, I think you overwrite it. And let me just cut it and see what is there. Just want to see if it's okay. Yeah, I think the new stuff is there. So I can do git add at this point, dot, and then git commit -m, then I'll just say adding JFrog stage. Again, this could be any name, on this git commit, and I can do git push. Doesn't ask me for. So I push this thing now. So if I check my GitHub now, it should have the update. It should have the update of the 2 stages I just added. So then at the same time, it should trigger a build in my pipeline, hopefully. If it doesn't do that, okay, it's pending now. Hopefully there's no error in this thing because I'm not too sure. But if it works well, it should deploy to this JFrog Artifactory. Then we should see the you can be checking the logs directly from there and see what is going on. I don't know why this is taking too long to build. This is just a basic. I don't know what's going on with all this thing today. No, I have to terminate this. This doesn't look good. Workspace. Know what is going on. Why is it logging like this? Okay.
But is this still integrated with the SonarQube?
Yeah, the Jenkins is still integrated with SonarQube. And yeah, that's a good point. I don't think I have SonarQube even running. I think I still have my SonarQube running, so it should be good. Yeah, but it's still integrated. The pipeline is still, if you check the script from here, you still have SonarQube stage. instead of the SonarQube stage, which we added last class. So it's after SonarQube that it will do the other stuff. I don't know. It's still in a building stage at this point, and it's kind of crashing now, I think. Oh my God, what's going on today? I can't even go back to anywhere. So it's in my server. Sorry guys, this was not good there. I don't know.
On a part of the learning.
Honestly, this is frustrating. I have to restart the server. If I start it now, I don't know. Because it's like it's crashing now. Man. What I can do right is I can do this and then just stop the server. I'm stopping the server now. They should stop running because I don't understand. The server is stopping. Man, this is so weird. Oh man. Yeah, sorry, I don't know what's going on with this thing today. It's everything just crashing. I'm stopping it right now. It has to be in stop state before I could start it again. And then, yeah, just again, maybe I will redo the lab and just send it to you guys, and especially the integration part and how it's deployed to the distance, because this is just wasting so much time. And yeah, so I think that's what I would do. Just yeah, I think I will record a session which I will do the integration on my computer. Then I will run the pipeline. Then I will send the script as well to you guys to just see. But basically, what we're doing is we just, after the testing stage. Matter of fact, I should have put this even before the code scanning, but it doesn't matter. The basic thing is, we just want to like deploy the artifacts to JFrog. So mainly what I wanted to do, I wanted to put it before we deploy to Tomcat. So we deploy it to the Artifactory before we now deploy it to Tomcat. So it will be in Tomcat, then it will be stored in Artifactory for future reference purpose, just to keep it there, and in the future you want to use it for anything, then it's just like a storage, just where you store your Docker image or whatever for. So yeah, but basically that's how it works, and we should be able to see it from this terminal, right here. The artifact will be able to see it here. Then you can see the .war file or whatever. So, and you can do a lot of cool stuff there too. Yeah, I will do the lab on my own, then probably send the video or anything. Yeah, because it's taking so much time. Let me see. Basically, that's just the idea. Again, don't really bother too much about some of even the snippet for the code. These two parts, I have to okay, look it up. That okay, how do you do the integration? Then I know what to change. So it's nobody we ask you to cram all this thing, So, but again, just understand the syntax, the formats where you need to add stage, and so those are very, very important. So apart from that, it's just basic, just understanding the stages, what each of those integration does, and how to put them together. Again, I will do this lab on my own and then try to send it. But the installation is very straightforward, just 5 command line. Then you get JFrog up and running. And after that, you can, and the integration part. So, yeah. Sorry, guys, today is a little bit crazy, man. Yeah. Any question in our little lab or stuff today? I hope we all understand what Artifactory does. JFrog Artifactory.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. Again, you can do little more research. Just understand be able to talk about it. That's very important. That's what I always emphasize. You want to be able to make reference to it, talk about it. That okay, I do this. Because at the end of the day, these are what we put in the resume, and it's you need to we